Hit that button.
The Bill 2 Media Podcast.
Why is the button sticky, Gunner?
I don't know. Good question. Dude, it's just what I do.
Built to Malay, Gunner, Zach, and Ben.
He literally piled it in his hole.
I mean, once you do it the first time, I would.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it wasn't mine, so.
Oh.
Now from the Liquid Nitro Studios, here's your host, Blake Anderson.
Gunner's locked and loaded.
Gunner Cummings.
I'll be completely honest, we're out of headphones.
Zach Whitties.
I bit on that so hard.
Ben Brooks.
They say that the
Don't have an hour and a half.
man is the head of the house, but the woman is the neck. And what turns the head? The neck.
Never heard that.
I haven't either.
Not even once.
Never heard.
I don't even know what just happened.
That's what I'm talking about.
saying.
That's right. That's right.
Hit the button.
Back 2 days in a row, people.
You know, I just got a flat, like a visual in my head of our opening credits being of a 90s sitcom.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Because we've been doing all that waving lately, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Norm from Cheers shows up oddly in the background.
Yeah. Afternoon, everybody. Norm!
And then the mailman.
Cliff Clavin.
Oh.
Come on. I'll tell you this quick story. I was 8 years old. My mom and dad took me to the bar because that's what you did in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
You took you went with your parents to the bar. I played a Cheers board game against people that were,
No way.
and I dominated
Oh.
all day. Dominated all day.
Jeez. Well, we got a hot one today, folks. Ben's over here dominating Cheers at the age of 9. I'm over here interviewing people. We are Facebook Live again. We got round 2. Mr. Tony LaPorta will be on today. Pretty excited to talk to him. Been listening to him for a while.
Yeah.
See him just about every week on the TV.
I tell you what, it's an exciting time here in Western Wisconsin in the racing world with the very best of the very best.
Showing up to party.
Coming to Red Cedar Speedway, as the great macho man Randy Savage once said, "Oh yeah, the cream will rise to the top." And we're going to see that coming up on Wednesday.
Wednesday next week, June 4th. We wanted to get you guys a little bit of insight. We went ahead and went directly to the source, the guy that knows the stuff. Yeah, I'm just super excited to see the 410s at Red Cedar, as you guys all know. But just for a lot of people that don't get to watch sprint cars in person, and on top of that, 410s plus a touring series, state to state throughout the country.
Yeah.
Plus, a lot of the drivers head to Australia. So, without further ado, I say we
Let's bring him on.
we get the old TLP up in there.
Let's bring him on. Don't forget to unmute him.
Oh, I got you.
All right. Tony LaPorta, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great, guys. Really appreciate y'all reaching out and having me on. And I feel the same way as you guys. I'm excited. I think a lot of people at High Limit are excited to get up your way. So, things are really, really good. Appreciate being on for a little bit here tonight.
No problem, man. I'm glad you responded, and I'm very excited to do this interview and obviously have you guys come up here. Big fan of the High Limit series. Obviously, just a little bit on me. I used to race wing carts, so oddly enough, your homie Kyle Larson there, I got to watch him play in the dirt while then having to go out and try to beat him. So,
oh wow,
that was a while ago. But Tony, you ever been up to Wisconsin?
Went up there a couple times with the Outlaws when I was doing video work for them in 2022 and 2023. Plymouth and Cedar Lake, a couple of the places we would hit up there. And I'll honestly, and I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to two guys from the area or because we're talking about that race for us, but I always loved it when we would go up to Wisconsin. I don't remember if it was Plymouth. It probably was, or Cedar Lake. I don't remember. But like when we would go up there with the Outlaws, it'd be June and, they'd go into heat racing and people would be putting on hoodies. And I just was like, man, this is the place to be. It's nice and warm and sunny during the day. And you still, kind of feel that bite in the air when the sun goes down. And then before that, I went up to Wisconsin a ton. I came from the pavement road course world before I was ever in dirt racing. So I have spent a ton of time at Road America in Elkhart Lake. And I absolutely love that. It's probably my favorite road course in the U.S. It's probably my favorite non-dirt oval racetrack. If people watching this have never been to Road America and they live in the area you guys are in, they absolutely have to go get out there and watch anything that races out there, whether it's IndyCar, whether it's IMSA. I love the Milwaukee area. So yeah, for me, there's a lot of personal connections to Wisconsin.
That's awesome, dude. I've only been there one time, but I enjoyed the hell out of it.
My uncle races. Well, he pits for a guy who races down there every year, and I've got cousins who race the vintage stuff there.
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
they tell me all the time that got to get to Road America. But let's get back to the High Limit Series. First time at Red Cedar Speedway. How did all this come about? We, as a community around here, we're all very excited to have you guys come in. How'd all this come to be?
Well, I mean, as far as it getting on the schedule, you're talking about the last possible guy that could answer that question for you. But I will. So to answer that question, I don't really know. This as High Limit starts, and I've seen this part in person. Promoters and track owners have shown up to other high limit races. Like last year, we'd be at race A, B, or C, and promoters or track owners from track XYZ would show up, and they would straight up engage in conversation with Brad and Josh Peterman, who is involved through Kyle Larson in a lot of the management for our series. And that's how it starts, right? Is just discussions and phone calls and emails. I don't know precisely how you guys ended up on the schedule. We're excited about it, but I will parlay that into something you both were talking about before you brought me on, and just excited to see 410 wing racing. Blake, I heard you say that. And then on top of 410 wing racing, it be a national touring series. That is something that I think High Limit, and I know shock here, I'm gonna sing the praises of the people who pay me, but whether they paid me or not, I would say that I think that's one thing High Limit is really, really doing a good job at right now, which is going to markets that haven't had national touring 410 racing recently or in a very long time. Because I'm sitting here talking to you guys, and I'm scrolling through stats and results trying to find the last time a 410 wing race, national touring or otherwise, was at Red Cedar, and I'm still digging right now, actually. Yeah. So High Limit does a really good job, and I'd say that whether I worked for them or not, of going, hey, there's a dirt track here. It's a good dirt track. They haven't had wing racing in a while. Maybe they haven't had a national tour come through in a little while. Let's go there. And I'm proud of the fact that I'm a part of a series that is not just sticking to the same schedule, going to the same places, sometimes 4, 5, 6 times in a year. I really like the fact that we go out to areas that haven't had national sprint car racing in a while.
And as a racer myself, like, I've always been way better when I go to a new track, but to watch all of your guys in the series essentially go to a new track. I mean, a lot of them have been to tracks that you guys go to, but essentially you're going to a new track every night. Like, that ain't easy,
No.
And Red Cedar, like you said, you haven't found any stats from sprint cars, which I'm going with almost over 10 years since a bigger wing sprint car class have been at Red Cedar. So pretty damn cool.
Yeah. And why it's cool is twofold, right? It's cool because there's people like you talked about, yourselves and friends and family of yours, who are like, this is sweet, right? We're getting wing sprint car racing to come through. And it's the 410s, and it's Brad Sweet, and it's Brent Marks, and it's Tyler Corey. And you're getting to see the real stars of sprint car racing, yes. Which, man, not everybody can just jet off and go to Knoxville every year. Not everybody can road trip to Eldora and go camp there for a week. And so that's why it's important that the series do their best to go as to as many places in the country as possible. So it's good for the fans, which is the most important thing. And then secondly, it's been phenomenal, I think, for competition. Brad Sweet won 5 straight World of Outlaws sprint car championships, and not like the Outlaws go to the same place on the same night every single year, but they have a lot of routine in their schedule. Okay. Yep. So if you're chasing Brad, and it's the same thing when Donnie was going on his run, when you are going to the same places pretty consistently, the rich get richer, right? At the end of the day, that's really the only way you can put it. This deal is cool because we just came off of a swing through New York and Pennsylvania in an area where Brad Sweet does not do particularly well. And his championship lead went from close to 100 to, I mean, I'm going to cheat here and look at it really quick. I'm looking at the midweek money series. His championship lead right now is just over 30 points in the national year-long deal. So it's good because you don't see those guys just go, hey, you know, we figured this place out 5 years ago and we're still going there and we're beating them to death there. It's good because I hear it in the pits all the time. Wherever we go, guys are like, we've never been here, or we haven't been here in 5 or 6 or 7 years, and everything's different. So it's good for the fans, and then it's hard on the drivers, which in turn makes it good for the fans, I think.
Yeah, building that notebook, you know, like you had mentioned, you know, my background, I'm a late model guy. We have the USA Nationals at Cedar Lake Speedway every year.
Yep.
These guys, they've got their notebooks built for the last 15, 20 years, right? So now the sprint car guys that, you know, like I said before we brought you on, the cream of the crop, the best of the very, very best, that tippy top of the sword, they don't know what they're getting themselves into coming to Red Cedar Speedway, as I understand it. But they are the consummate professionals that will be able to figure it out quick, fast, and in a hurry. So it does kind of level the playing field for a little bit, so to speak.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Am I expecting us to get to Red Cedar and Brad Sweet drive around the track the wrong direction? No. Am I expecting Rico Aber to miss the show? No. But what I am expecting is it to be a little bit tighter at the top of the charts in qualifying, in hot laps, through those very first times on track. That's where those guys, the locals or the drivers that are around your guys' region, can they, if they've got a good feel on the place, which again, it's you know, who's going to be those drivers, right? Because it's been so long since 410 Wing Racing was up there. But yeah, it levels the playing field, as you put it. It makes guys who are really, really good all year long show up to a place where they don't know, and they don't know what to set the car up. They don't know what the baseline is going to be, and they don't know what the track is going to do throughout the course of a night. They don't know the track prep. They don't know the guy that's been watering it for 15 years. They don't know how he goes about it. Yes. So all of it makes it what a national tour should be, which is really hard. And you're going to go places where you know and you're familiar and you're good. And you're going to have to go places where you don't know. And that's why national sprint car racing is so awesome, because it's a fight every single night.
I was kind of wondering, like, as far as you being there every night, the way I take it is you guys essentially are renting the track or the facility. You come in, you do your thing, you work with the people there to make the show happen. How hard has that been, like, with all of these new tracks? I mean, there's a pile of tracks that probably haven't even raced sprint cars, period, or maybe once or twice, just like Red Cedar. But how is it adapting to that? Like, when you show up, everybody's basically new to the area.
Again, and I'm not trying to dodge your question, you know, though that's a lot of like the behind the scenes business stuff, which I'm so far removed from. But I will tell you this. Everywhere we go, we have a team of people that are like, you know, everything's kind of split down the middle, right? You've got competition, and that's headed up by race director and series director Mike Hess. And then you've got kind of like the marketing and like, you know, it's maybe not the best term, but the money side. And that's, you know, a lot of the times handled by Kendra Jacobs. And she shares that with that guy I mentioned earlier, Josh Peterman, JP. He works with Kyle on the NASCAR side of Kyle's career. And when this whole deal got started, JP, I don't know whether he lost a bet or he signed up for it. But he kind of got the business side of High Limit dumped into his lap. And both him and Kendra do a great job with it. And yeah, you know, there's things called joint ventures, JVs, where the track and the series go in on it together. There's full out rentals, like you kind of talked about, where the track just kind of pays a flat fee and says, hey, we're renting it and it's our event. You know, we're making the back gate, we're making the front gate. Obviously the track will like see their concessions as their income. And that's the series taking a gamble saying, hey, we really like the place. We really like the event. We think we can make a lot of money. And then, you know, you have events like the Knoxville Nationals and like we just got done in Port Royal at the Bob Weicker, where it's a little bit of the series, but it's a lot more of the track. So it's a wide array of business models, and I'm so far removed from that side of the business. I'm not even going to pretend. I mean, I probably just explained those three different models probably incorrectly. I'm sure I'll hear about it. But no, I mean, from my side, dealing with like the track staff and everybody involved, no, there's really hardly ever any issues. I can tell you stories off air about times when I was at USAC and you'd show up and there'd be a track announcer working there who acted like the traveling announcer coming into the booth was taking the food out of his children's mouth. That's always super fun to deal with.
I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah, it's
on both sides.
It's crazy, and I'll also take some of the blame on that because my year at USAC I wasn't very good. So the house announcers are probably thinking, why is this guy coming in who doesn't know what he's doing anyway? But no, I think for High Limit, what Brad and Kyle have going makes a lot of people just like want to be a part of it. So the tracks are always super great to work with. And if there's a drama or there's a problem, I never hear about it. That happens when they're counting the money at the end of the night, and that's so above me. But you can see based on year 1 to year 2, we go back to some of those places and we're experimenting with new. So I don't think there's really been any like major, dramas or controversies to speak of.
Talk a little bit about your prep. I know prior to us going on the air, you had said you really haven't looked to Red Cedar Speedway too much yet, but you've got a couple of races in between now and then. So from your perspective, I know you can't speak for what a race team goes through to prep, but from your perspective, what are you doing to try and prepare for these races coming up?
Well, it's a good question, and it's for your guys's and the Wisconsin swing specifically. It's a very unique question because typically, I always joke. I always tell people, hey, Chase Rodman, our series announcer, he has to focus on the sponsors, stats, the numbers, right? Or as I like to call it, kind of the less exciting stuff. Because it's not my job to rattle off the sponsors. It's not my job to tell you about, oh, this guy ran here from this position 7 years ago when the weather was 68 degrees and, the traffic was doing this on the highway. I get to go through the pits and tell the stories, right? So it's probably lazy, but for the most part, my prep at home is pretty minimal. I'll glance at websites like sprintcarratings.com and the Third Turn, and I'll look and see who's really good here, or I'll go to our website, High Limit Racing, and I'll look at our results from last year, and I like to dig through that because we have everything. We have heat races, the dash results, qualifying results, all of that. And so I'll do a little bit of that prep, but for the most part, my prep is at the track. I try to walk up and down the pit area. I try to talk to somebody from every single race car, and it's just general conversation. It's like this right here. I just go up to Tyler Courtney, Rico Abreu, Brad Sweet, their crew chiefs, their tire guys, their car owners, whoever. And it's just, hey, what's going on? What's new? What have you been doing? Because through that general conversation, you'll hear a story. And it's, oh man, I just was out fishing with my brother this week and I caught a 7-pound bass. Okay, well, on the face of it, that's not a big story. But how many people in the stands or watching on Flow do you think are fishermen? Right. Especially up in Wisconsin. Okay, so now if we tell that story, there's, I don't know, 20, 50, 150 people in the stands that go, I fish, or oh, I've caught a bass like that, or I'd love to catch a bass like that. And then all of a sudden they have another reason to be a fan of whoever that driver was that I just told that story about. So, but this weekend is unique because before we get up to Wisconsin, we go to Lawrenceburg in southern Indiana on Friday. We go to Butler in southern Michigan on Saturday. And Chase Rodman, our series announcer, is going to have to miss those 2 nights. He's going home to California to be with his sister for her wedding. And so I'm stepping into the booth for those 2 nights while still doing my job down with the wheel, the dice roll, and victory lane interviews. So I have to do what he does. And I'm sitting here going through my notes for Lawrenceburg and Butler. And I'm looking up how every guy we expect to be there, how they've run at that track. Do they have a lot of wins? What's their best finish at that track? And then, you also want to have their high limit season to date notes. This guy's got in 15 races, 10 top 10s, 3 top 5s and 2 wins. And you make quick little cheat sheets on all that. So This weekend particularly is extremely busy for me, but once we get up to Wisconsin, it's going to be a lot more of walking around, talking to crew chiefs. Hey, have you been here before? No. What do you think of the place? How do you go about learning it in 3 hot laps? So, typically prep for me is pretty easy, but this weekend's a bit different.
Well, I can definitely see your prep on your normal nights, not being an announcer. I watch it, obviously constantly, but it definitely helps. I mean, it helps interact when you're actually talking with that guy, or when they go up to spin the wheel or stuff like that. But just for the people watching that haven't seen the sprint cars, you want to explain, some of the cool stuff you guys have, like the Durst dice roll or the wheel for redraw and stuff like that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, if there's folks watching this that are coming out who maybe don't watch on Flow or haven't been to a race before, it's your traditional format, nothing really crazy. Hot laps, qualifying, a couple heat races. However many heat races there are is dependent on how many enter the night. And then, we'll run a dash, a B if we need to, and a feature. But in between all that, we like to do some fun stuff. After the heat races are over, we take say there's 4 heat races. Well, we'll take our 4 heat race winners and the 4 fastest transfers, and we'll take those 8 drivers. They're going to be in the dash. But instead of just doing something really quick and really simple, like, okay, you pulled a 5 out, you start 5th, you pulled a 7 out, you start 7th. And I hate to give him credit for this because nobody expected this good of an idea so early in the year. But last season, Chase came up with the idea, aided by his love for gambling and casinos. He wanted to kind of really build up the whole gambling theme of high limit racing, and he came up with this roulette wheel. And the main reason I don't like his idea is because that wheel is bigger than I am, and it's an absolute pain in the ass to set up and tear down every night.
You've mentioned a few times live.
Yeah, it's just, I hate that thing so much, and I wish we could get one a little bit smaller, because the idea itself is great. And so how the wheel works is all the drivers line up. They go heat race winners first, fastest transfers after that, and they spin the wheel. And you spin a number, and you want a small number. You want a 10, a 9, an 8, a single digit number, because the lower the number, the smaller the digit you spin, the higher up the starting grid you line up for the dash. And it's exciting because nobody knows the lineup. Like if we're all pulling cards or chips out of a can, well, you guys pull the 2 and the 3 and I pull the 5, we know where we're starting. But the wheel is fun because if 7 out of the 8 drivers all spin and Rico has the hot hand at a 7, he spun a 7, that's the lowest number out of everybody. Well, if local Joe Blow, who snuck into the dash, comes up and spins that wheel and it stops on a 6 or anything lower than a 7, that guy goes right to the top and he leads the field to the dash, or to the green for the dash. So that's always fun. They come up, we ask them a question before they spin, and all the questions are submitted by fans. And that always, it's something funny. It's something out of the ordinary. It's not just, hey, how's your car? How important is it to start up front in this dash? Because who cares? Everybody knows the answer.
Yep.
Their car's good. They're in the dash. It's important to start in the front of the dash. Duh.
Yeah. And you get to ask them a random fan question, which I think super cool.
And it's always something unique. It's like, hey, I mean, God, last year we had favorite cereal, and where do you like to go on vacation? And some of them are not always the most brilliant and engaging questions, but then some of them are really fun, and the drivers come up and they're like, man, give me a minute. Let me think about that. So that's how we line up the dash. And then after all the preliminary stuff is done, after the heats, after the B, after the dash, right before the feature, a fan is randomly drawn out of the crowd who bought their tickets pre-sale, who bought their tickets ahead of time by going online and purchasing their tickets. It's not for people who buy their tickets at the track. If you bought your tickets ahead of time, your name gets entered into a drawing. If your name gets pulled out, you come down onto the front stretch or in front of the grandstands with me. You get 2 big, like foam dice, rubber dice, whatever, and you roll them. And whatever number those dice land on, the driver that starts in that position, you roll a 7. The driver that starts in 7th is the Durst dice roll driver. If that driver wins, you and that driver, the fan and that driver, split $5,000. So that's another fun way to give people someone to cheer for, someone to really pay attention to, because if that guy wins, he gets an additional $2,500 and the fan leaves with $2,500. So all for the price of buying a $50, $40 ticket to Red Cedar. So, and then another really cool fixture, it has nothing to do with the fans really, but this individual came over from the All-Star Circuit of Champions when High Limit bought them out at the end of 2023. And this individual has elected to stay on in 24, and they're back again in 2025, and they are our angel donor, and they commit $1,000 every single night. A high roller, a full-time driver with the series, wins. Anytime a full-time driver with the series wins, and they've even expanded it now to any alumni. So if you ran full season last year, James McFadden, Corey Eliason, Parker Price Miller, drivers like that, if they win, they get to send $1,000 from this angel donor's checkbook to a charity here in the States that they want to support. And that is something that is just so unique to High Limit. I don't know any other group that does anything like that. And I think it's a really, really cool feature. It's
super amazing, especially like I notice Rico, whenever he wins, like he matches that donation every single time.
Yeah.
He's never not matched that. You know, they give the 1,000. He also gives 1,000, but,
and several times last year when Brad won, maybe even this year, he has announced that he's going to match the donation. Yep. And I'm sure that if I went back and looked through all the interviews, there have been other full-timers who have said, I'm going to match the donation. Yep. And I've spoken with that angel donor, and just to clear some things up, that individual does it truly, not for credit or not for, notoriety, because their name is not to be put out there. Anything about them is not to be. The reason this individual does it is because they want the spirit of giving to spread. And they want you guys to hear about Kyle Larson or Brad Sweet or Aaron Reitzel's favorite charity. And they want you to go, oh, wow, that's important to me also. I'm going to donate to that. Or you just hear it and go, that's not the charity I would support, but there's a charity I would. And I'm going to send them $50 tonight, or I'm going to send them $25. It's whatever a fan can do to help a charity, any charity. This individual who makes that donation on behalf of the drivers just wants people to feel that same kind of giving attitude.
Yeah, it's super cool. And I mean, they're very, very strict about it. Like, nope, I'm sending it here every single time. No questions asked. But we got about 5 minutes left. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your career and how you ended up here?
I mean, I'm super fortunate. I don't have a hard out. So, I mean, I don't want to cut you guys off. If you guys had anything else you want to talk about, I can stick around a little bit longer. But, I'm super fortunate. I grew up racing go-karts in Colorado, where I'm from, and I'm 6'3", and these days a little bit closer to 300 than 200 pounds. But I was a big kid. I was just a really big kid growing up, and I wasn't worth a damn in a go-kart. I thought I was going to be Tony Stewart, but I'm about a whole body bigger than him some days. So I got out of the seat, was hanging out at a race I was supposed to be in, and the race director, I was down there just talking his ear off, and he had the microphone for the PA system. He was calling the next class up. Hey, kid karts, you're up in 5 minutes. Tag junior, you're up in 15 minutes, whatever. And I'm just blah, 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 right next to him. And he just takes the mic and he hands it to me and he says, take this, go up there to the booth and leave me the hell alone. And it was the last club race of the year. It was the group on track that I typically raced with, the old guys, because I was 15 years old and weighed more than every junior driver in the class combined. And I got to call. I just did play-by-play. Just, I had no idea what I was doing, but I came down and they were like, hey, you aren't the worst to ever do that. Do you want to come back and do it next year? The big national series in the country at the time was opening up a region in Colorado. And they said, hey, we need a regional announcer for that leg of the national schedule. And I came back and I did that the following summer. It was for free. None of us were making any money. They didn't have $1 behind it. It was, just a startup deal. A guy was at one of our karting races. He was using his He promoted a Legends car series. I know you guys race them on dirt up there. We ran them on pavement. A guy who owned a Legends car series. They were using one of the Legends cars as like the pace car for the go-karts. It was hilarious. But he saw me. He thought I'd been doing it my whole life. And he's like, really cool guy from South Carolina, Larry Griffith. I'll never forget his name. He comes up to me, and again, I looked like this at 15, so he probably thought I was in my 30s. And he walked up to me and he goes, well, sir, you're very exciting to listen to, and I have a 3-night summer series going on. It was like one night in May, one night in June, and one night in July. And he's like, I would be. I don't want to make him sound like Colonel Sanders, but he's like, I'd be mighty obliged if you would come and announce our small little summer series. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is a guy that doesn't know me from go-karting who thinks I'm a professional. And he's like, hey, would you come and announce our deal? And it was down at Pikes Peak International Raceway in Southern Colorado. I lived up north, and I'm just like falling over myself because I'm like, yeah, I'd love to. Like, absolutely. I liked oval racing and pavement oval and all that stuff. And he goes, okay. And then he asked me the question that I never even spent a second thinking about. He goes, and what's that going to cost me to have you at my races? And I freeze up because I'm like, oh my God, he's going to pay me? No way, dude. This guy wants to pay me. And I call my boss at the karting series, this guy that I had raced against his son, and he knew me like he might as well have been my dad. And he had a very personal relationship with me. This guy from the Legends car series, he wanted to have a professional relationship. So I call the series director of the karting deal, Kurt, and I go, Kurt, this guy wants to pay me to announce the Legends cars. Well, I mean, I didn't know if you asked for $50. I didn't know. Excuse me. I didn't know if you asked for $50. I didn't know if you asked for $5,000. I had no idea what a racing announcer made. Right. I didn't want to lose a bunch of money, but I also didn't want to hit the guy with some number and him have a heart attack. So I tell this guy, Kurt, who I was working for, but not getting paid by. And I tell him, and he goes, just so matter of fact, so didn't even have to think about it. He goes, tell me you want $150 a night. And I'm in my, like, I think I'm going into my senior year of high school that fall. And I'm like, $150 a night for 3 nights. That's crazy. Oh my God. That's so much money. And then at the very end of it, he goes, Kurt, my boss, he goes, and make sure he feeds you. It's $150 a night and he feeds you. Yes. Probably completely leaving out the fact that I'm driving 2.5 hours each way to come to his races. And we didn't mention a thing about gas. It was just $150 a night and he feeds you. Well, I get back to this guy, Larry, and I go, yeah, Larry, so it's going to be $150 a night. And he goes, absolutely. That's fair. And I'm happy to do it. Well, I embarrassingly, ashamedly now looking back on it, don't even know how to tell him, and I also need to get paid. I also need to get fed. And I just drop it on him so awkwardly. I go, and I'm also going to need to you're also going to need to feed me. And we're over a phone call. I can't see the man, but I'm sure his eyes just got huge, and he kind of stammers and he goes, of course. He goes, the rest of the staff, we normally just give a meal ticket to, and they go to the track's concession stand. But he goes, my wife will go and get you anything you like. There's a steakhouse nearby, or there's a burger joint, or there's Mexican down the road as well. She'll get you whatever you like. And I'm just like, oh my God, I just want a food. I don't need a steak. And the guy's like, she'll go get you anything you want, sir. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm 17 years old. You do not need to be calling me sir. I will gladly eat the cheeseburger and fries from the roach coach at the track. And so, yeah, that's a very long answer. But from there, it just kept getting bigger. And I did regional karting. Then it went to national. Then it went to international. And into the pavement road course world a few years later. And since then I've gotten to moonlight and fill in for one race on IndyCar Radio Network, which was a massive honor in pit lane. I've been the public address voice for IMSA, which is the Rolex 24, the 12 Hours of Sebring, all the big major endurance sports car racing in the country. I was their PA voice from 2017 to 2021. I was Mazda's play-by-play announcer for their North American MX5 Cup Championship, and then just a whole bunch of other stuff, mixed in there. And then in 2021, I stepped away from all that to go to USAC, and I've been in dirt ever since then.
I remember the USAC. That was pretty cool. I mean, especially when I seen you come to high roller, or high limit, sorry, but it was super sweet. Like, watch you go from USAC and then boom, high limit. But
and it was USAC was such a fun deal, and I loved that series. And I mean, I'm a non-wing guy. I love non-wing sprint car racing. And midgets are really tough to say you love these days, because I think it's just evolved a lot. I wasn't even around for the golden ages of midget racing, right? And I love Silver Crown racing, and I know as a guy that works for a wing series, I don't think it's bad that I say that, but I really do love that. And yeah, the deal with USAC didn't exactly go the way I would have liked it to, but got to spend 2 years with the World of Outlaws and learn how they do things, brush up on my video production, because that's what I did for them. And then for Brad and the folks at High Limit to give me a chance over here with this deal. Yes. It was a real gift and a real blessing. So yeah, we're having a lot of fun, and it's a pretty cool gig.
Well, I got to say, you're telling your story about how you got started, and it's amazing. Like, from one announcer to another, real similar background, kind of fell into it by accident. And I know the feeling about when you're asking for money, like, okay, is $25 too much? Am I driving 300 miles for some microphone time and a cheeseburger and a soda type deal? And, so it's really awesome to be able to hear your story and how you got right to the top. If there's I'll tell you this, if there's anything you need from Blake and myself, come next week. When do you get into the area?
So we'll get done in Butler on Saturday night. We'll stay out. We're not going to come home or anything. Right now I have plans to go hit the Detroit IndyCar race with some friends of mine who work on the series with us as well. Me and two other guys that are involved with High Limit. We're going to probably run over to Detroit. Very fortunate. IMSA will be there along with IndyCar, and a very good friend of mine. I can't believe he answers my calls or answers my text. But John Doonan, who was at Mazda and then now is the president of IMSA, he hooked us up with some passes. So we're gonna go out and catch the IndyCar race in Detroit. It sounds like on Sunday, and then once that's over, we'll motor on over to Wisconsin, and we have Monday off before we get going between you guys and 141. So. We'll hang out Monday night and then just hit each track. I think we have a different hotel. I think we have we're in a hotel Sunday and Monday night, and then we'll race Tuesday, check out, head over Wednesday, race, and then I go to Kansas City right after Wednesday night and fly home. So probably won't be in town, unfortunately, too terribly early. I have to look at our travel doc, actually speaking to you guys, just to kind of confirm exactly what we're doing, because we start at 141. Yeah, with Red Cedar being on Wednesday, we're going to leave 141 and just drive overnight and get to Red Cedar and head to the track at 11, start hanging banners and putting up signage, and then be there for the day and then race and then get out of town. Well,
I tell you what, Blake and I, we will run and get you any food from any restaurant in Menomonie, Wisconsin that you could want. I think we can comfortably speak on behalf of Red Cedar Speedway for this deal. It is an honor and a privilege to have you and the entire series come to Western Wisconsin. As we understand it, the last time that 410s have been on Red Cedar Speedway was sometime in the early 2000s. Yes. And the buzz around here is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. So we're excited to have you. Blake will send you both of our contact information. Again, if you need anything from us on Wednesday, we're both going to be there pretty much the entire day. So want to thank you so much for your time tonight. Understand you got some hungry mouths to feed at home, and your time with your family is so limited, and we don't want to take any more of that precious time that you have. So thanks a lot for your time. No. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. I was going to was going to tell Chase to either join me on this or give you guys a lot better information than I probably did. But I think he might already be in the air for California, and he'll be there. Like I said, he'll miss Friday and Saturday night, and then he flies into Green Bay, I think Monday. So he'll be there, and all of us I know are looking forward to it. Like I said, I love Wisconsin. I love the area. I don't know the western part of the state really, really well, but I'm excited to get out there and see the place, because 141 and Red Cedar I've never been to. I've never even seen in person. So, really, really excited to get out there, and I appreciate you guys having me on for a little bit. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Tony. We appreciate it, and can't wait to meet you in person on next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, just remember, I like my steak medium rare.
Copy that.
Anything more done than that is a crime, and I wouldn't be the one bringing it to you.
Yeah. When you originally offered that, you're like, well, hey, if you need anything, let us know. I was about to say, I could really go for probably a steak and a baked potato when I get there. But no, we're very good at eating at truck stops and racking up Chipotle points. So we'll be well fed. We will all be well fed when we get to Red Cedar, and it'll be nice to meet you guys and see that place in person. So I'm excited.
We'll get you a whole bunch of Wisconsin cheese. I already got an idea in my head. We'll get you hooked up.
It's a real shame, because recently I've just had some weird stuff go on where I can't really drink beer right now. And through all my time at I know coming to Wisconsin, and they might not let me in.
Right. If you would have said you're lactose intolerant, that's where we might have to draw the line.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. I was at Road America one year interviewing the Road to Indy drivers, and they're all pretty young kids. It's a pay to play kind of junior open wheel series, and so you have some kids racing in that ladder system as young as 15 years old. And I interviewed one driver on a fan stage. I don't remember how old the driver was, but they definitely were probably under the age of 18, right around there. And we're on the Cooper Tires fan stage, right in the middle of the fan zone at Road America. And I'm interviewing a couple of our Road to Indy drivers. And I go, hey, you're in Wisconsin. This place has got incredible food, incredible drink. What do you love so much about coming here? And this kid just, young kid doesn't have a ton of, media experience and public speaking. And he doesn't really think about it. And he just goes, man, I don't really get this place. I don't even like cheese. And you would have thought he farted in church, right? The good news was because it was just the junior levels of like the Road to Indy, it wasn't exactly a massive crowd standing around listening to these, 17-year-olds. But the few people that were there were just, somebody booed him. I don't remember if it was one or two, but somebody booed him. And the tragedy for me is when I started going to Road America, I fell in love, obviously, with everything from New Glarus and Spotted Cow. I could drink an unholy amount of those when I first started coming out there, and I'm making as many donations to medical research as possible to find out what has to happen to allow me to drink beer again, because I'd do anything. I'd probably be the first beer I would have if I could get one is a Spotted Cow. So. And Leinenkugel is so good. So I'm a big fan of the state's food and drink, and then the racing and everything else is a nice little second place. But we sure like to eat when we go up to Wisconsin. That's for sure.
Well, it's one of the advantages of being on the road is you get to try all the cuisine from all over this great nation, and you get to see all of our great institutions, racetracks, and again, looking forward to seeing you and shaking your hand, and meeting you in person on Wednesday.
We had one guy, and I'm not going to name him on here. Maybe I'll tell you guys if we see him at Red Cedar. But we got one guy who's a crew member on a national touring. He's a high roller team, and this guy, they went out to California this year to start the season with us in Vegas and the West Coast. And this crew member, this individual on one of the full-time teams, comes up to me and he goes, "Man, I love this." He's like, "I've never been out here. They got the best food ever out here on the West Coast." And I'm like, what's getting you so excited? He goes, "They got this local burger place out here. It's amazing." And I go, "What is it called?" He goes, "It's like In-N-Out or something." I'm just like, I'm like, dude, that's That's far from a local place, just so you know. And he's like, well, we don't got it back where I'm from. And I'm just like, that doesn't mean it's local to Tulare, California. And I like to give him crap about that because he discovered In-N-Out at the, I don't want to give his age because that'll definitely give him away. But yeah, he'll probably come out to Wisconsin this week and be like, they got this place out here called Applebee's, dude. It's crazy.
Well, when you talk to that person again, tell them about Culver's. Tell them about Culver's. And
I'll be like, hey, you thought In-N-Out was pretty crazy. This whole state claims ownership over one fast food restaurant, and it's in every state I've ever lived in. So yeah, I'll be sure to get him to Culver's and be like, hey, this is a pretty small secret. Don't be telling everybody about this place.
Yeah, don't be giving away our secrets now.
Yeah. I like that. I'll work Culver's into the pre-race conversation with that guy and make sure that he's sampled some of the local cuisine.
You bet. At least it's only a walk away from the track. I mean, it's less than 2 blocks, so y'all be good.
Oh, that's dangerous for me because because that's just at the very top end of the distances I will walk on foot for food. 2 blocks is about as far as you're going to see me walk willingly if I don't have a gun pointed at me. So I might be over there before Hot Lap's getting some curds. So I'm looking forward to it. Now I'm even more excited.
Well, I tell you what, you won't have to walk. I'll give you a ride. How's that sound?
That's better than Larry Griffith's wife picking me up a steak. I'll take it.
Well, thank you very much, Tony. We appreciate your time and can't wait to meet you Wednesday.
Yep. Look forward to it, guys. Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot, Tony.
Tony LaPorta.
Good guy.
Good guy.
You know, it's
That's my line. Don't use my line. I always do the good guy.
Yeah,
Great guy.
Great guy. Good human. Good human.
Nice guy.
Good guy. You know what? It's
The announcing part, like I could just see you filling your face with just love and and thoughts and all the conversations that you've had and knowing that you were there in that situation.
Yeah, it was when he's talking about what he has to get paid. Like I go back to a conversation that I had with my great grandmother like 20 years ago, and she'd always push me to make sure you get paid, make sure you get paid.
Yep.
Well, how much? And then she'd say, I don't know.
What's your time worth?
What are you worth?
Yes.
I'm like, well, I drove from Medford, Wisconsin to Montevideo, Minnesota for a couple of cheeseburgers and some sodas and a microphone time. And I slept in my car.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Well, at the time, I didn't know any better.
Just like him, though.
Yeah, just like him. So it's cool to be able to talk to somebody who's made it to the top and, you know, who's got a similar path, I guess, to what I've had, and means that there's still hope for me to make a full-time
You might
career.
be out there. If Chase has to go to another wedding, he might call you up and be a pit reporter.
Oh, my God. I
Could
don't
you
know what I
imagine
would,
that? You'd
no.
be like, I don't like
I don't know what I would do.
You'd probably be like, so when you were out there in that late model sprint car, sprint late.
Well, I'd ask dumb questions like, where's your 4 bars at or something?
Yes.
And, you know, just stupid stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know.
What kind of lead you put in your rear end? Huh?
Right, yeah.
You guys use plumb bobs or?
You know what? They probably do it at somewhere.
Yeah,
at some
I'm sure
point,
they do.
they
Somebody's probably tried it.
right.
Guaranteed
For sure. But yeah, I would ask dumb questions like, why don't you just raise your wing up, you know, on the front end and try and get more downforce on your rear end or something stupid
Why
like
is the
that.
wing so high?
Yeah, why is it way up there?
It's so big.
All I want is and it's not even a want at this point. It's a need to have my picture taken with Rico Abreu because
It'll happen.
a very, very good friend of mine. He has a fear of little people. And yeah,
You don't want to meet Rico then, because that son of a bitch works out harder than anyone I know.
I want to meet Rico in the worst way.
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
he doesn't. But
He doesn't want to meet Rico because
reminds me of that story that Brad Williams, you know, the little person comic, Brad Williams, and he discovered via Bob Saget that John Stamos has a fear of little people.
oh gosh,
So he went up to John Stamos and humped his leg. Yeah.
that's terrible.
Yeah. Bad stuff. But anyway.
We're excited.
Yeah, we're
Wednesday,
pumped.
High limits. Thought you guys would enjoy just a little bit from Tony. I don't know, man. I I'm super excited, and like I wanted to tell him, you know, their crew is phenomenal as far as, well, like Johnny Johnson, I talked to him today. The production crew literally has already called him, I think a week ago, to start asking about setup and this and that and the other thing, and they will be there right away in the morning on Wednesday to start setting up cameras and their drone footage at the tracks they go to. It's amazing. It's so cool. It is a show, and they are the only ones there, and it's going to be fun.
What I really like, no support class.
Yeah.
Because you don't need it.
No, not with these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a whole show.
Yeah, you don't need it. And I love that, too, that, yeah, you've got quality racing.
Yeah.
But then you've got, like you said, the show.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm looking forward to the most, being a part of it.
That's why I wanted him to explain the dice roll and the wheel. And, you know, when they do the wheel, sometimes they'll bring kids from the grandstands to spin it for them or whatever. I mean, it's involved. They keep everybody involved at all times. And honestly, not just because we had him on here, Tony does a fantastic job at making sure everybody's entertained. Chase as well. They got a Spotify, like Driver of the Night's playlist. So before every race, every heat race, every hot lap, all that, they'll pick, say, Rico Abreu. He gives them his Spotify. Rico gives Chase his Spotify playlist, and they'll play a song from his playlist.
That's so cool.
Before every race.
That is so cool.
Yep.
If I knew how to run Spotify, I would do that myself.
It's so sweet. Like,
Yeah.
it just keeps, like, the whole atmosphere of that deal it's just keeping everybody involved. So
Yeah.
I can't wait. We should have our row available hopefully by tomorrow. So I will let some people know, and
Yeah, we'll both be there and probably be doing a little bit of recording and some other stuff. And
yeah.
And
apparently getting Culvers for Tony LaPorta.
I would gladly do that. I would
for
go
sure.
to,
I'd DoorDash whatever he wanted.
what is the name? The name of the supper club. It's right in the middle of town.
Oh, they changed it again.
Did they?
Yeah, across from the auto
It
parts
was like
store.
Wilson Creek Inn or something.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
It might still be. I don't know.
Yeah, I would have gone there and,
Got a steak.
oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Here you are, sir. Some of the finest from the area.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
I show up with Taco Bell. Sorry, it was running late.
do you want a steak and baked potato or do you want
Taco Bell.
a butterburger?
It's not the same thing night after night. Not predictable. That is correct, Rob Erickson. That show is super unpredictable. I mean, nobody expected to watch Aaron Reitzel win out in PA for 100K, but he led the whole thing.
Well, I like that it's unpredictable too.
Yeah.
The trouble is with Lucas Oil World of Outlaws. Okay. Either one of those two series.
Yeah, 4 drivers.
If Bobby's there,
Yep.
okay. He's good for at least a heat win.
Yep.
JD, good for at least a heat win. Those two are going to be battling it out
Top
for the
5,
future.
100%.
Occasionally, you'll see a turbo in there or something like that.
World of Outlaws, David Gravel.
Yeah. Right.
Mod series, you got the same 5'8" guys, whatever. But here, there's 10 guys that are in the run for the points championship, especially after their PA swing. Like he was saying,
Yeah.
Brad Sweet's only got a 30-point lead when it was 100. And that's just from 3 nights of racing.
Just in that swing that could, potentially happen there.
Right.
To be able to, the unpredictability, that's about the only thing I think we can predict is that it's going to be unpredictable.
Correct. And now we got all the IRA guys that are going to come up here, which the track's small enough. It doesn't matter how much money you spent. As long as your equipment's working and your motor's good, like nobody's really going to outrun you at Menomonie on motor or things like that.
Yeah, especially when it does slick over like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about put a 4-barrel on, put a wing on it, piss on it.
Why haven't we done that yet?
No, I'm not going to do that. I'll never put a wing on my car. I'll just buy another one.
Just against your religion to put a wing on your
I'm
traditional
not
sprint
going
car?
to
or
change
what?
anything on that car.
Ever?
It's perfect, yeah.
Would it like not even a torsion bar or something?
No, I'll do that. I'm just saying it's never
Well-
it's never going to be a wing sprint car unless it's sold. So
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
plus
but,
now Tony's a huge fan of non-wing sprint cars. So
so somebody now thinks that they're a big deal, even bigger deal than what they already
No, I
are,
am
considering
not. I
you
have
show up
never.
and raise hell and leave.
hey,
You're
raise
gonna,
hell, praise Dale, baby.
you're gonna do it again this weekend.
Speaking of
too.
which,
Dale?
yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
Speaking of which, the Dale Earnhardt deal
Watched it.
on Amazon.
Yeah,
Oh, well, it's a good deal.
it was awesome.
I can borrow you the carbon wings. Son of a God. Go mow some lawn.
Let's make this happen, Mitch Hagen.
Go mow lawn.
Let's make it happen.
Not doing it. All right. Thanks, Tony LaPorta. Appreciate your time. Thanks, Ben, for swinging over on short notice.
Oh, thanks, Blake, for inviting me.
We needed to do it. It was good.
This is something we had to do. Had to.
I mean, if he could talk Chase or if Chase gets back to me, like, I'd still interview him on Monday. I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely. They
got a
might
lot
be a
of
little
airport
busy on
time.
Monday. No, Monday they're off.
Yeah, no, they're off.
Yeah, they're off.
But it'd be cool to get Chase on here too, even afterwards. It doesn't matter. I like talking to these guys. They're the ones out touring the country, seeing the new. Oh my God, Blake's scared. Mitch, 2008 IMCA 360 Rookie of the Year.
Boom. Start off another
I've already
stat.
raced wing cars. What? Oh my God. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. That was a rough night for you at Cedar. Thanks, Scott.
Oh, I like that
Jack.
I like that people are offering you spare parts.
Well, Jack doesn't have any.
Jack, yeah, I understand. Jack
Sorry,
doesn't have
Jack.
it anymore, but
I appreciate it. Oh
It is
no,
what it is.
what is that?
I have no idea.
I think I know what it is, but I don't want to be banned from Facebook Live.
Yeah,
we already
yeah.
did that on TikTok.
Yeah, we're down one social media platform. We can't be down. This is our only outreach to you guys.
yeah.
So
If we keep doing this crap, we're going to be kicked off all of them, and we'll have to be like the Built 3 medias or something.
start our own social media platform.
Yeah, Built
We'll just be outside with megaphones.
2.0.
Yeah.
Built 2.0. All right, boys and girls, we are out of here. I'm going to get this baby uploaded to the airwaves so all of our other listeners can listen.
We'll see you at the races this
Amaze me.
weekend. Menomonie Friday, Rice Lake Saturday, Menomonie next Wednesday.
Do it, and then Rice Lake next Thursday after that.
Yeah, we got Fastlane Superstock Series coming.
Hi, Jeremy.
A lot of good stuff. Can't say, you can't even, Bob Thompson, we can't even say that on Facebook.
No, they get mad about all this stuff.
It's very, very G-rated.
Okay,
so.
we're rattling on.
Hold on.
Oh,
3 weeks from now, our show is going to should look relatively different, and we'll be able to have a lot more fun and a lot different on a couple more platforms that aren't so, got the thumb over the top of you type deal. So I'm looking forward to that in a couple of weeks.
yes.
That's all I have
New
to say about-
equipment.
that's all I have to say about that, Jenny.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
Now, as always, that was anticlimactic. You got something to say? Hit up the Built 2 Media podcast and let them know. Like, comment, and share on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and at built2media.com. Thank you, Built 2 Media sponsors. QualityFreightrate.com, Liquid Nitro Energy Drink, SKD, Scott King Designs, Thunderhill Speedway, Kick-Ass Beef Jerky, Jiggy Signs, Harvest Racing, K1 Race Gear by Ryan Bowers, Spot On, Point of Sale System Credit Card Processing, and PrettyPolishedJunkie.com. Get your Built 2 Media podcast fix. Get everything you want and get everything you need at built2media.com. Except for the t-shirts. Figure it out. Be back next week for another exciting Built 2 Media podcast. The Built 2 Media Podcast.